Gran Betty once turned £500 into 4 pence and said it was the best investment she ever made. I thought she was joking when she told me that. We were in her garden, like always. She was trimming her roses, slow, precise, like every cut had a reason. And I asked her how losing almost everything could possibly be a good decision. She didn't even look up. Because, she said, it taught me to stop gambling and start owning. That was the moment everything I thought I knew about money started to feel a bit flimsy. If that already sounds different from what you've been told about investing, just take a second and hit like. It helps more people find this. And honestly, more people need to hear it earlier. I used to think investing meant finding the one, the company, the opportunity, the big win. Gran Betty thinks that's the fastest way to stay busy and broke. Picking stocks, she told me once, pouring her tea, is like trying to guess which raindrop will win a race down a window. Entertaining, but entirely useless. She knew because she'd tried. That £500 she invested back in the 90s? Gone in 6 months. Best lesson I ever bought? She said. Cheap too. Some people pay with decades. And then she gave me the line that changed everything. Darling, only a fool searches for a needle when they could own the entire haystack. At the time, I didn't fully understand what she meant. Now I do. Gran Betty doesn't chase companies. She doesn't predict markets. She doesn't sit there trying to outsmart the world. She owns it. Through something she swears by, the FTSE All-World ETF. Thousands of companies, across countries, industries, economies, all in one place. No guessing, no drama, no constant decisions. I don't need to know which company wins, she told me. I just need to know people will wake up tomorrow and spend money. They always do. And then she added, almost casually, the more exciting your investments feel, the less money you usually make. That one stayed with me. Because if I'm honest, I wasn't investing. I was chasing excitement. Gran Betty built everything on something far less exciting and far more powerful. Consistency. She had a system, 3 rules, never broken. And this is the part I wish someone had told me years ago. Rule 1, pay yourself first. The moment money arrives, she told me, a portion leaves. No discussion, not what's left over, not when it feels comfortable. First, if you wait, she said, you'll always find a reason not to. Rule 2, automate everything. She didn't rely on willpower. She removed the need for it entirely. Discipline fades, she said. Systems don't. Her investments went into that same global fund every single month. Whether markets were up, down, or all over the place. Same fund, different decade. Rule 3, ignore the noise. This one took me the longest to understand. Markets would drop, headlines would panic, people would react. Gran Betty, watering her roses. I remember one day in particular. Markets were falling, everyone was worried, and I asked her if she was concerned. She looked at me, slightly confused. Concerned? She said. No, darling, everything's cheaper. Why would I be upset about paying less for the same thing? That was the first time I realized she wasn't playing the same game as everyone else. I once tried to convince her I'd found a brilliant opportunity. Charts, articles, expert opinions, I had everything. She listened patiently, then asked one question. If it's such a good idea, why is everyone talking about it? That was the end of that. Good investing, she said, should feel boring. If it feels exciting, you're probably speculating. And somewhere along the way, something shifted in me. I used to check my investments every day. Every dip felt like a mistake. Every rise felt temporary. Now? I check maybe once a month. And somehow, I feel more in control. Because I'm not reacting anymore. I'm just following a system. Gran Betty even simplified it for me. Put it in. Leave it alone. Get on with your life. That's it. And then there was the day she showed me something I didn't expect. An old newspaper clipping about Warren Buffett. This man became one of the richest in the world by being patient. She admired him deeply. Not because he was flashy, but because he wasn't. He's been saying the same thing for years. Most people should just buy a low-cost index fund and leave it alone. Then she smiled slightly. If Warren Buffett isn't trying to outsmart the market, I'm certainly not going to try. That was the thing. She didn't need complicated strategies because the simple one already worked, and she stuck to it. Year after year, decade after decade, same approach, same fund, same discipline. The first 10 years feel slow, the next 10 feel obvious. And after that, people think you got lucky. That stuck with me. Because from the outside, it does look simple. But most people don't stick with anything long enough to see it work. I had a friend who was constantly jumping between opportunities. New trends, new ideas, always chasing something better. Gran Betty hadn't changed her strategy in years. And slowly, quietly, the difference started to show. Wealth, she said, is built by people who don't get bored of doing the right thing. And then there were the fees. I once watched her question a bank so calmly it was almost uncomfortable. 1%, she said, is not a fee. It's a leak. On the way home, she told me, people focus on what they make. Smart people focus on what they keep. Because over time, those small percentages don't stay small. They take quietly, she said. That's why people ignore them. But the part that stayed with me most wasn't about money. It was about time. One afternoon, she said, one day you'll wake up and realize your money has been working quietly while you were busy living. And that's when it all makes sense. And then she added something I didn't expect. The only thing I regret is not starting sooner. Not because she missed out on some big opportunity, but because she underestimated time. Time, she said, is the engine. Money just follows. If you've made it this far, you're already thinking differently, so make sure you're subscribed. Gran Betty has a way of making this simple, and you don't want to miss what she says next. Because here's the truth most people miss. It's not about doing more, it's about interfering less. Before Gran Betty, I thought investing needed constant attention. After Gran Betty, I realized the best strategy needed almost none. She didn't build wealth by being clever. She built it by being consistent, patient, and just stubborn enough not to change what was already working. Earn, invest, ignore, repeat, or as she puts it, put it in, leave it alone, let it grow. And if you take one thing from this, just one, make it this. Set up an automatic investment into a simple global fund, even if it's a small amount, and don't touch it. That's how she started. That's what she never stopped doing, and that's what made all the difference. Standing there in her garden, watching her go back to trimming her roses like none of this was extraordinary, I realized something. She planted. She waited. She didn't dig things up to check if they were growing. And somehow, everything did. If this changed how you think about money, share it with someone who needs to hear it. These are the conversations that actually matter. And if you want more of Gran Betty's no-nonsense wisdom, like, subscribe, and go and watch Gran Betty's Money Wisdom series. There's a whole collection of these moments, and each one might just change how you see things. Because as she says, the secret isn't knowing more. It's interrupting less. I'll see you in the next one.